Okay. All right, so just kind of going, because it's been a while since we've done footwork. So just a simple drill doing like fade back and switch feet. So, you know, this kind of thing. And you can, you know, change up, do the change ups with it. Just basically to get some footwork in. So it's like a little bit of avoiding, rolling with the shoulder roll. And what's going on here, it's almost a kind of a stretch. So you plant a foot and stretch like that. It kind of goes with that elastic kind of thing going throughout the body. Sort of just like a power generation too, where you're stretching as opposed to just arm flinging. So it's a whole body type of movement where you're stretched like that, so you have some elasticity coming. So you can come back and
Okay, all right. Makes sense.
then the forward again. This deal. So it's stuck in like this.
Opposite hand or same hand?
Opposite hand in this particular case. So you're starting out like this. You step with this foot and this way, and then the opposite way.
Yeah.
So like doing that deflecting, like this kind of thing.
Okay, all right.
Boom.
Okay, all right.
And you're switching there. There you go. So it's coming this way, like not this, but you're deflecting something like that.
So,
Nope, not like. So you check it out.
not,
More like this. So instead of this is what you just did.
mm-hmm.
Instead it'll be this, because you're more like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And even with the chin, you're not doing this. You're doing this. Use your peripheral
Okay,
instead of putting your chin and like cocking your body.
all right. So it's more like this.
I'll do a slow punch. Except you're coming in here, this direction.
Okay.
Yeah. Turn that foot over like this when you do it. Not to push this way. It's not to do this, but just to do this.
Okay.
Punch at me.
Okay.
So not like this, but you're just.
Okay.
Oh, punch again.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
You're deflecting.
Okay.
So you're deflecting it, coming in, and boom. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
No. Down.
Mm-mm. So
This one.
that, yes, that's it. Before you were doing this, that's not it. This is it, because you're deflecting that.
Okay, so.
Yeah. Yep. And the other hand is instead of this, it's like this. Just keeping it up. Yeah. And see that other hand? It can be relaxed when you're actually going through the motion. Tension doesn't have to be there. I'm just putting it up so that it's ready to do whatever it needs to do, rather than being tucked somewhere where it's not effective.
Okay, so it's more. I need to have my shoulder relaxed.
Loosen up, yeah.
Okay, so up.
Just sort of like for this one, go ahead. Right. Nice and relaxed.
For this one?
Yep. This is doing the work, which is not that much work at all because it's deflecting. This one's just relaxed.
Okay, so this
In
one
the
is
area.
tense, this one is relaxed.
You're like
Okay.
you're just getting it in a spot that's not going to get it jammed up
Okay.
in case you have to use it. It'll take practice.
Okay.
Just nice and, well, actually, going nice and slow will help out. So if you're doing like this, you're just getting it out of the way. And that comes a lot with the, let's say, Filipino martial arts, because if you have a knife, you don't want your hand to be in the wrong spot or flailing around when you
Okay.
have a knife, because it could get cut somehow.
Okay,
So you
so-
want to put it in a spot that is safe for the hand. You know what I mean? You want your other hand to be safe while you're
Okay.
moving this
Okay.
blade around.
Okay, it means that this hand's got the blade.
We're going back and forth, so
Uh-huh.
it's just an example. But
Okay.
let's say, for instance, this hand had the blade, and you were coming up this way to throw a block or something like that, or deflection. This hand would be just doing this, because, like for instance, this hand had a knife like that. You would do this, and basically keep this hand out of the way.
Okay.
In case you did something like this, you wouldn't want your other hand like,
Yeah, just because you can just catch yourself. Okay.
so you just want it out
So
the
it's
way.
the safety for regarding your opponent, but it's a safety regarding your
Yeah.
own blade.
And also because even with empty hand, if you did the deflection and you had your hand here and the punch came this way, now you had to find your way out of here
Yeah.
to, you know,
Yeah, okay, it makes sense.
But instead, if you had it here, then that,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
it'd be easier to do this, boom, than this. Oh,
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
so you just keep them ready, and
Alright.
it doesn't have to be or just there.
Okay.
All right.
Right. So, thing.
Turn the foot over. Even more so. Yeah. Yep. And even if you're coming toward that direction. Like, you ready? Yeah. See how your body is, you had to, okay, now, stay there. Instead of this, instead of leaning back, it would be more weight on that leg, turn the foot over, and this, closing this, because that deflected. Nope, no need to even do that.
Okay.
It's a deflection, and you're not necessarily trying to push your opponent away when you deflect. You're just trying to get inside so you could actually do something else. Boom.
Okay.
If you push me away, you may push me out of
And
range.
you can use this.
Yeah, I can use that, or I just won't be in the spot you want me to be in to do
Okay.
something else.
So it's just deflecting,
That's it.
not
Huh?
pushing.
Punch.
So,
Just so you can get it out the way,
okay,
and then you're in range to do something else.
okay.
If you do like this, then
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
Yeah, you stop.
I'm already stretched out.
So,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
All
right.
All right, that's probably good for that.
Okay.
So, any questions on it?
No, I was because I practiced some movement from the silat.
Yeah.
So it was this one, bang, and the one or up, up.
I think the first one it was easier to
It's
see what.
yeah.
Well, you wanna? What should I do?
Okay, so this one, the fourth one is so if you punch, bang,
Mhm.
and I think it was something like that.
Well, it certainly can be that punch. It
Okay.
certainly can be.
Okay. And no,
It could be that too.
bang. Okay. And the other one was more like so. If the punch arrives, so I do this. So let's go. Bang. Just pushing here.
Yeah.
So that this I think is American, yeah. And he gives some really simple video. He does a very simple video on the movement of the silat, and he did a T on with 2 sticks,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to hop, hop.
Yeah.
I was just working on this, and just wanted to tell
It's
you.
good.
Yeah.
It's good. All the footwork stuff is pretty good. Even if it's that's the thing. Most of the movements have an application somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and if nothing else, for the coordination, even if it seems a little like goofy,
Mhm.
it probably has a context somewhere.
Yeah, because since we were not we couldn't do the
Yeah.
session together, I was thinking about trying something new, and at the same time he said, yeah, and then you can add a this
Mhm.
or just
Mm-hmm.
or just thing
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So,
So triangles, squares. There's a lot of
Mhm.
like forms that a lot of systems use. And
Okay.
on top of that, the triangle, the square, the whatever,
mhm.
that's the shape they may put like down, but the actual movements are the same across these different systems.
Okay.
They just happen to say, use the triangle, or use the
Mm.
rectangle,
Okay.
or use the square, or use this T shape,
Yeah.
or this T shape, you know,
Okay.
but it's the same movements.
It's the same movement. Okay, all right. So
They just happen to have a
I
diagram.
thought for
that
each
was
shape there was a different movement. No,
No,
it's just
the systems usually pick some type of diagram to
Yeah.
work off of.
Okay.
But they end up being the same steps.
all right. Okay, all right.
Which
So-
is great.
Yeah, yeah. So now I just have to work on this one.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And again, it's just an example of a drill for a little piece of the pie.
Uh-huh.
Sort of like that thing that I brought up before, you know, all this crawling practice.
Mhm.
Someone, you know, do you really need to crawl from here to there on every situation? Of course not.
No.
But that crawling practice could be a great transition from you sitting there to moving over there.
Mhm.
And that's what that crawling
Yeah.
can be.
In a specific moment, in a
an
specific
example.
situation.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
or it could be crawling up the hillside.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of applications, and it could fit just right into that one spot.
Uh-huh.
But you know, you practice it.
Okay, all right.
You know, just like
And
the
the other
footwork.
thing I wanted to ask, so when I do this, is my okay? So I do this.
In this dynamic situation,
And
yes,
what about the,
yes, the foot is turning over.
So
and
it
this,
means that the knee goes inside.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm here. So
Now, that's the way you practice it, train it.
mhm.
But in a real situation, something happened, you may end up doing like this.
Yeah. More intuitive during the fight because
Depends on what's
you
going on.
cannot think. Say,
Yeah.
well, let's
But-
try to remember what we learned.
Practicing this,
Yeah.
you know,
Uh-huh.
usually you practice this so you can get the body angles in because you're thinking about
Okay.
all the hip rotation and
All right.
opening and closing the hips and twisting the waist. So you're practicing like this, but the reality is could be
Yeah. But this also helps to get something else, or it's just
yeah, it helps to get this so you can do this
boom.
Bam!
Okay.
as
It's-
opposed to this.
So it's like arming your arm, your okay. All right.
Yeah, but this could be really effective.
Okay. So all right. So okay.
Just like I mentioned a few weeks back, an arm punch can be really effective.
Mm-hmm.
It still hurts. It can still knock somebody out.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't do this, shoom, this can still hurt
Yeah.
somebody.
Okay.
You know,
But in the
or this.
Uh-huh.
You can still hurt somebody doing this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But it's well. It's depending. It depends on the situation, and
Yeah.
it means that a fight is never something clean.
That's
so
right.
you had to deal with any type of position of your body, and
And that's the idea behind the training.
Okay.
Is that you're trying to get all these variables.
okay.
You have the base, and then you're trying to do these variables to cover all these different situations.
So it means that it becomes a kind of reflex.
Yes.
Okay.
And you do what you need to do in the moment, and even if it's not perfect, if it worked out well, you're good to go.
Okay. All right. Okay.
If it didn't work out well, then you have some analysis to do. It could be anything from physical, you didn't have enough whatever, or like you weren't conditioned enough, or mentally you
You
weren't
were not
prepared.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, tons of people can practice.
But they can just
And
freeze during the.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, well, that brings up an example. I'm like the mosquitoes, I want to keep moving around, but I had a guy, it was on, was it Friday? It was on Friday, who, one of those vagrant type of guys. Like, while I was cutting the lawn in the front, guy, I'm mowing the lawn, and he comes up from around right there, and as I'm mowing the lawn, I notice him coming up onto the curb, so I know he's about to ask me something. And the guy is a black guy, could have been black and Mexican, like
Okay.
hard to tell on the features, but I'll just say he was a black guy, and he had like a little bit longer hair with kind of messed up, kind of
Okay.
curled hair,
Yeah.
and he had like a jack-o'-lantern teeth, like, you know, kind of separated teeth,
Yeah.
but everything was gold-plated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So seeing that immediately, I'm thinking,
Gang.
okay, yeah, and I'm thinking at the very least, he used to at least, like before he hit harder times, let's say, he was probably in that whole world.
Yeah.
So he's got that, he's got a black shirt, black shorts, black backpack,
Okay.
and his clothes didn't seem too, they weren't worn out or anything. So I'll say relatively newer clothes. And he's walking toward me. Again, over here, I'm mowing the lawn. And as I see him come over, he's got the look like he wants to say something.
Okay.
You know, of course I'm thinking he's gonna ask for something. And I just go, nope. And I keep going a little bit,
Okay.
you know, peripheral. And I look back, and the guy is like walking towards, still on the sidewalk now. And I glance back to check, like, you know, half a second later, and I got nothing. You know, I'm stern. That's how I usually do the situation. And he goes, and then I turn back and say, nothing. And he keeps walking.
Okay.
As he walks by, I don't take any, like, you know, anything for granted. I turn over immediately and check him out as he was walking by. as I'm still mowing the lawn. You know, I'm mowing the lawn,
Yeah.
but I'm checking him out
Okay.
to see what his characteristics will be.
Okay.
He never looks back,
Okay.
like, you know, didn't check to see or anything. He keeps walking, so he's got his wits about him too.
Okay.
Never looks back, he keeps walking. And then, as the situation would be, down the street, maybe 5 houses or so that way, near that construction that's down there, like you saw the construction
Yeah,
that
yeah.
came in, there's this one lot that was empty for a while, now they're starting to do stuff on it. There will be the mother out there with her little toddler, and she's on the sidewalk playing around with her toddler as the toddler's doing things. And, you know, I could hear her, they're not having fun with her child. And so now I'm like, oh crap, now I gotta check this out and see what's gonna happen here. And he's walking up toward, you know, I'm still mowing the lawn back and forth, and he gets up to them, and he's like, you know, he stops around right here, and she finally notices him as basically he stops right there. You know, this is the stuff that obviously you should be more aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
They're standing on the sidewalk. He stops on the sidewalk, and he's talking to them for maybe 3 to 5 seconds before he turns to keep walking that way. And again, I'm checking him out. He never looks back.
Okay.
Right? So again, I think he's pretty much got his wits about him.
Okay.
Doesn't want to like throw off any alarms for whatever reason. His intentions could have been, you know, to be, you know, I need some help and plain and simple. But I'm looking for nefarious activity.
Okay.
Right? But he never looks back in my direction. And then once he starts walking, he doesn't look back toward him. So he's starting to walk away, and he gets to, let's say, the house that's past that construction. And I see him look up and then keep walking. And then the mother and the child, they start walking toward me, like, you know, again, being happy, walking her little, not infant, but like a new toddler.
Okay, all right.
The child can walk. So, as he's passing by that house down there, then I notice the guy, the husband, just come out of the area toward the sidewalk. So let's say the mother is already maybe, I don't know, 100 yards in front of him or whatever, and then the guy is walking out behind her a bit. So she's maybe 2 houses over, and he's come out of the driveway at that time, and the guy is still walking, and he's not turning back, he's leaving. So it's like this whole episode of that thing, she should have really been paying attention to what's going on. The funny part is, she comes up toward here, and basically my mower has run out of battery, like at that instant, so I gotta go get a new battery. And she's up here, basically, by the time that happens, and the child, she's coming up here. I walk back here to get a new battery and switch, and then I head back outside to put the battery in. This thing's look clear, the guy's out of sight now.
Okay.
She's already up here, and you know, her husband has come out. I come get the battery, I let Viv know about what happened out front as I'm doing this stuff, and I walk back out. And I get out there, and I put the battery in, they get up to this spot, and now I can't mow because the kid's right there.
Okay.
And they're just like, you know, off in Wonderland, and she starts going back and forth, right, like the sidewalk in front of me. Like, you know, I want to start mowing now.
So you
Just oblivious to like what's going on, you know.
Okay.
And so she takes it back around, the kid walks it back around now to the curb, and she's thinking, oh no, don't go out to the street yet. Oh, you want to walk the curb next to the trash cans that we have out on the Friday. And I'm like, oh, it's, you know,
I can do
just
that.
totally nothing. Yeah, I can't do anything. Oblivious to what's going on in the world. And like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead and take the cans out. By this time, the guy has walked up here. You know, this whole time I'm like, you know, this guy is the focus. vagrant guy.
Yeah.
I'm watching out for her down there, all this stuff like that. And the guy is like just a house or so over. So I go to get the can, and I walk the can back, and the guy's like there, my neighbor, and I'm, you know, hey, how you doing? Like, you know, we were in this situation where we're making sure this guy that totally ignores me.
Yeah, so,
Like, you know, it's just a funny situation.
okay, so,
Yeah.
and you don't know what he wanted to do.
No. I'm saying the husband totally ignores, like, you know, this whole situation with this guy on the street, which is unusual. And it's like,
But
well,
he noticed the guy.
yeah.
It was.
I'm pretty sure the guy kept going because the husband probably came out of the driveway. You know, so that he kept moving after that. But it's just like, you know, watching out for this lady and the little kid,
And
you know, all this stuff. And it's like, I thought we had some camaraderie there. But the guy just like totally ignored me. When I'm prepared to run down there and sprint
and
to save your child.
well, yeah. So
It was
it means
funny.
that you need to be on your
Yeah,
guard
yeah.
every.
Because again, the guy's walking in the street, and he was walking behind cars as he was approaching me, as I'm doing the lawn. So he's, you know,
He had something.
yeah. And as he came down the street, he walked in front of the last car to come to the sidewalk, like right here. So, you know, it's like this whole scenario game thing that, you know, people
Yeah,
do.
perhaps he wanted to break a car or break in a house or just walking.
Had no idea. At the very least, he was going to ask for something, ask for money, something.
All right.
But you know, given the look of him, you know, knowing that he had a past, it's like, nah, there's no need for any long-term interaction. Not going to become your buddy. Not going to save your life.
Yeah,
You know, it's like, keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
You know. Yeah, it was an interesting situation. So that brings me back to, besides relaying the story, like we've done before, if we, you know, time, we go through that drill. Oh, I brought my watch. We go through that drill where we have the situation again. So we'll try to get that in, so we can get that feeling thing again.
Okay.
Because mentally, that's the most important thing.
I think it's really important. But the other thing, I was listening to a podcast, and this is that guy. He was in the undercover.
Yeah.
It was an undercover operative.
Okay.
And he was in the military, a French guy. And he was talking.
Oh, I know
about,
the one you sent me the video of.
No, another one.
Okay.
No, this one is just a MMA fighter, but this guy, Brice Portal, was in the secret services in France, and he used to go in specific missions, and now he's training people, and he was saying, I see people who are just good fighters in a club, but as soon as they are confronted to a situation, they just freeze, because they only work on the technique, and they don't know. For him, you need to get hurt in order to get your
fight or flight.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So I was, and he was saying, I know
to
some
get
really
you into
good,
gear, into action,
And he was doing this, so he did a video with that guy. I sent you a video. Okay. It was a bar situation, and it was they had to put some helmets, some protection, etc. And the guys, they were really hitting hard, and he was the only one who he was at the bar, and that guy was ordering something to drink, and the guy was starting to, he didn't want to pay, was starting to move behind the counter, and the thing that guy did, it was a plastic glass, but
Yeah.
he pretended it was a glass,
Yeah.
and just like that on the counter,
Yeah.
and put it right to the front of the guy. He said, "That's the only thing." Then the guy is just down, and
Yeah.
and after he said, "This is a way to do it, but you need to think about the consequences,
Yeah.
because this."
Oh, I
could
see
have-
what you're saying. Like he took that situation of this training thing, and I'm doing the thing, but yeah, you're going to jail.
Yeah, that's it. And he had some issues when he was walking in the street with that guy who just tried to put him, stab him with a knife,
Right.
and he reacted.
Yeah.
And there was a 50, he told us that, he told the people that there was a 50-50 responsibility. That means
Yeah.
that the guy who attacked him was responsible,
Right.
but the other guy, the guy who was the victim,
Yeah.
was also responsible.
That's true.
Because he hurt that guy went to the hospital. And that was, when I saw that video, I was thinking about your discussion about that, and I
Yeah.
said, yes.
That's the way it is. And some things are subjective. So if you have someone like in the court system or the law enforcement, if someone wanted to make you the bad guy, or put you down, or take advantage of having control over you, they could do that. Even if you were saving the child.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Oh, you think you're a hero?
No.
I'm going to do this. And you're going to be labeled as, or we're going to put you under the court system, or we're going to make it a lot of money you're going to have to pay to defend yourself. So yeah, it's like too many factors in there to want to get into the fight. Much better to not have to get into the fight.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can stop it, if you can stop the fight at this distance, that's what you should do.
Yeah. So that was interesting because that guy was undercover. Now he's retired, but he was undercover in the Medina's cartel.
Yeah.
And now he says that he saw things that make him think about, well, your responsibility as a human towards the others.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's a life threatening, you go, because you cannot do it. But
That's true.
If
But-
it's not a life threat, you need to be careful.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That whole thing is self-defense.
Yeah.
That whole how you handle a scenario is the self-defense. It's not just the physical portion of it. It's all the stuff that happens before and even after. Like that one video I sent you on the guy in Portugal.
Yeah.
You know, part of that self-defense was him after the physical part, you know, knowing what the situation was and saying, you know, let's hug it out. Like, you know, of course he's hugging it out with all anticipation that it could still go wrong. And then, you know, he's like hugging with the guy. Like, yeah, I'm sure he's ready for anything, but he's also thinking ahead going, yeah, I'm gonna see this guy again inside of this small town that I've just come to. So I gotta make sure that we're friendly instead of I beat you up and that's it. Because like it's saying later, you know, that could turn out not good for him.
No.
Like he mentioned his friend who, you know, 6 months later, his girlfriend got stabbed and he got stabbed and she died because of a fight that happened with someone 6 months earlier. So it's like, yeah, the self-defense is also after the fight. Like, you know, you just knocked somebody down and, you know, you defended yourself. What you do after that also counts. Are you hanging around? Are you like, you know, consumed with this and not ready for that? It's like, just because you think you won that doesn't mean that you're safe or that you won, because after that, it could be a case of now you're in court.
Yeah.
And now you have to have some more self-defense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like
In jail.
defending
Yeah,
yourself
yeah, in
or
jail.
getting defense in court.
In court.
Or
okay.
in
or
jail.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and it's not great the way things could turn out like that, but that's the reality.
Yeah.
So it's better to defend yourself from this distance and be done with that particular situation. All right, so we'll try this.
Okay.
So I'll start off like this.
So-
Two hands right here, and we're gonna go through it slowly. And I think I got the sequence.
Okay.
All right, so you push this way, and okay. So now it's okay. When you push,
Yeah.
go ahead and push. All right. So now we're at this angle here. At this particular point is where you would take this hand.
This hand,
Yeah, and we're going through it slowly, and once we start going faster, we'll take the shortcuts. But this hand is going to turn over like this, and this hand is going to come down and push down toward me. And like that is where I'm going to do not too much pressure, a little bit lighter. This is where, this is where it comes in. It's going to do like this. So when you come down, you're going to fold in like this because I'm going to do this. So now I'm doing this part. And when I push, you're going to push me upward. Not with this hand, but with this one. Upward. And then I'm doing this. And now you're going to come over and no, you're going to come over and transfer to this hand here to be putting two hands on this. So I know it seems a little goofy, but this is how we end up here again. So now we end up in the same starting position.
Okay,
So push,
push.
and then I come up here, and it's like that. And now, just take your hand underneath everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's going to come to this hand here. So you slide across this, and
So like this.
yeah, and this, and that. So take this hand under, and no, not quite like that. Well, let's start with the practical thing again. This one like that.
Okay,
this one like that. And now pushing down toward me, and from here, it's got to end up on this hand again. So let's see. Maybe it's like keep pushing toward that, because we got to end up like this again. Oh, come toward me with this one. Okay. And then I'm back to this, and it's back up again.
And then what
And
should
I think you're going this direction.
like that?
Yep. And then push toward me. And this hand is like that. As this one turns over.
Yeah.
And it keeps coming this way because I'm doing like this. Don't get too sucked in here. Like give me a little bit of yeah. And then like that. And this, yep. That's what it is. And now push. Okay. And this one keeps coming around so that I end up like this. Direct this toward, like, as you feel this pressure,
Yeah.
direct it upward.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Like this. That's more like keep it coming around there. Yeah, so it can, basically when it starts to come up, when I start to push you up, your hand does this and then it slides up like that, and then I'm doing this.
So
this
I
one
cross
drops
my
down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's try. So I do this. No, that's
See, as you did that,
yeah.
as you went up, I bring this one over, and my hand is crossing like this so that you can press on this one. Like two hands forward.
Two hands forward.
Yeah. And then up, press. and this arm crosses, like does this, and it's going to be, this forearm arm is what I'm going to be pressing like this. So as you do this deal, it's like you put only a little attention to doing this, and then you just come straight over like that to make this forearm the one that's like this.
So it's
So,
like
okay,
that?
so like, shake it off a bit. So I'm gonna try to do it in the air. So I'm starting like this. The pressure comes towards me. I bring the pressure up. I'm touching this elbow. That other hand from you is coming inside to do this, but it also keeps going so that I can actually put my hands on that forearm and then press. And then when I press, you're coming up and I'm doing this, and I stay here for a moment, and then I'm offering my elbow, and then you, two hands are pressing this, and then I come up and push upward. So,
okay. So
all right, we're starting like this. You press.
press.
I'm going upward.
Okay. Then
Yes. And then for that slight moment,
Yeah.
now you take this. Keep your position right there. Don't move at all. After you've done this, after that bit of pressure, now you come over like this and offer your forearm.
okay.
And now that you've offered your forearm, now my hands are like this, and I press.
And then
Right.
that.
And then I press.
And so this is
Well, see, no, you're still like this.
okay.
And then I press for a slight brief moment, and then I offer my forearm, and you switch to this one.
And I press down.
And you press down, and I direct it up.
And then
You press.
I press.
Yeah, and it's like that slight moment, and then it drops off. And this hand can drop.
So this is the end that
Yes,
drops.
this is, now I have this. I press, and you, when I start to press, you direct it, not quite like that. It's like you direct it this way, upward. Press me again. You direct it upward. So press down. So instead of this, press again. Instead of this, it's this. Like the counteraction for you coming directly in or pressing down on me will be this, to move the energy upward so that the hands end up like this instead of like this. So it's coming upward. Now that it's upward, you're like, oh, well, I'm going to do this now. Because this energy is coming downward to do this motion.
All right. Okay. So let's try.
Okay.
It will be easier.
The switch feet? Okay.
So
All right.
So I press down.
And I go upward, and this hand flips over. This hand flips over.
And
Yeah.
this one. Okay. So
For a brief moment, and then you offer that, yes. And then and you flip. Now that I've done it, oh, it's my turn. I flip over, and then I offer this. Like that. And you keep coming, like you're doing this, a little bit of press, but when you feel that's not working, this is sliding off, and then
like this. So
flip over, not that hand, and pressing a little bit, and instead of that.
So it's your turn to flip over or mine?
Again, that flip, it was my turn to flip over, and I did like this. I'm over, and I keep coming like this to offer that forearm. and now you're changing from this arm to this arm, and you two hands pressing down, yeah, and then I'm up, yep, and as you're doing that, you're instantly going to this.
Okay.
So when you break it down, we're showing each of these like 4 energies inside of there. And I forgot the actual names of them, but I think this one is Pung, to where you're pressing forward like this,
Okay.
like a ward off position, doing this deal.
Okay. All
Right.
right.
That's the one thing. And in order to defeat that, you use on, I believe it's called, to where you're pressing downward.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like push straight toward me, like push straight toward me. All right, so this energy, this is a really good structure for you,
Yeah.
but this is much easier.
Okay. All right.
So you're breaking the structure, push again, you're breaking the structure of this by doing this.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
so that's the second, let's say, energy.
So downward.
Right.
Okay.
In order to avoid getting stuck with that, now you're going to twist. Well, no. You're again. Instead of you're doing this, you're turning the body slightly. Go ahead. You're turning the body slightly in order to deflect that. And I forgot what the upward energy is called.
Okay.
But this is like the upward energy.
Okay.
I think it might be Lu or something like that. So now we've gone upward, and now that I have this done, now you do the downward,
Downward.
that downward deal, and then we're back there. Okay, that's pretty good.
And then we. So you
No,
press down.
Well, yes, I press down, and from there you're not only press down, but it's like this. Once you press down, you do this. Because just the pressing down is like, in order to keep the motions going, you press down and then you come up to try to lift up.
So
Like this.
press down.
Yeah, press down to me. You're trying to do this.
Okay.
So press down and then, or excuse me, you press down and then you're trying to uproot them. And when that happens,
So.
yes.
Okay. All right.
So it's like you press down, they're trying to, oh, okay. And we're trying to stay in balance and stuff, so we're not putting all of that into each movement.
Okay. So.
And when that happens, when your like hands come up, now you're, oh, I'm coming down again. I'm gonna put
Okay.
this energy down on you. Okay.
Right. It will need some time to process, but.
Now,
I got
this one here, this is the one that gets shortcutted.
This one, whatever, you can leave it like that, or you need
It's like that.
just like that. So,
Yes,
okay.
but as I'm about to say, this is the one that gets shortcutted. And remember, this could be on either side depending on how the drill's going, because you could switch sides and all this stuff. This is the one that gets shortcutted because for the drill, you kind of just really kind of forget this one. You don't do this one as much because it would stop the drill. So instead of putting too much force into this, you just offer your elbow to keep the momentum going.
Okay.
So you're not really trying to push down.
up. So I'm here, but I actually these arms going down, and I
Yeah,
offer
not as
you
an
my-
elbow, but just as a this.
Okay.
so-
So I'm like that.
Like that, and so
Ah.
slide, yeah, to where this is like that again.
Okay.
To where
so
you're
it's
doing this again.
More like that. And,
Yeah. So let's say a lot less tension.
Uh-huh.
It's just that your arm is now here again. So instead of keeping it forceful, instead of keeping it forceful, you're just offering it up.
Okay.
All right. And that hand drops. Yep. And you're starting to drill again.
Okay.
Now, I'm the one who's starting it, so it's like, okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
press down.
Mhm.
Turn. Then.
And just keep sliding it over. And then,
Down.
No, hold on a second. Am I thinking about that right? Yeah, I'm thinking about that right.
So I press down.
That. And this is where you would turn over. Yeah.
So
And
I just do.
Yep. Not turning like that. It's more of a, when you bring this hand up, just keep sliding it over to offer your. They really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Careful then. Wow.
Let's start it again.
So
Let's say the sequence is pretty quick. There you go. There you go.
press down.
Now it's just a matter of getting proper hand position. And the slides, yeah, less tension, let's say.
Okay. Yeah.
And let me see where I'm at. Okay. Hold on a second. Am I on the right? Yeah, I'm at the right spot. Less tension.
Okay.
It's like this one fades away, and what's left is this. Yeah, like that. And I will say from here, take my hand up higher.
And that.
Kind of like that. All right.
So.
And then I'm like this, and now I'll offer that. Yeah.
My turn.
Yep. And right there, this one relaxes and fades away. Instead of go upward this way. Yeah. I think we're going to get there in a bit. So we'll be quiet and see if we can fall into it. All right. We'll try to go through it several times.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, keep an eye on that subject. We'll try to do it and see if we can fall into it.
Okay.
All right, so we'll just try to do it several times and see how we go.
So. Mosquitoes
Oh, sorry
and
about
flies.
that.
It's okay. She's doing, yeah, this is, I think there is a fly around us.
Yeah, I hope that's a fly.
It's a fly, it's a fly.
No, it would end up on this one. Sorry. Let's start it again.
Distracted by a fly.
Yeah, I tell you. Because I don't know whether it flies or mosquitoes. All right. Let's
Okay,
try it
so-
again. Nope. Keep pressing down. Oh, keep going.
This is
Yeah, that was it.
the point. I should relax.
Oh. Oh, let me see. Yeah. Shake it off a bit. I think we have it.
But
Now it's a matter of smoothing it out.
yeah, because it's kind of it's not smooth at all.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
But I think we
But I
have
think
the
that
idea.
it's not smooth because I still doesn't have this this spot. Well, I should
It's
drop.
coming.
I just
It's
perhaps
coming.
I just need to drop the left arm
Yeah.
and present my right.
It's coming though. It's getting better. Because
Okay.
even that part, you're not keeping it there, so it's working out. What happened? I
So
gotta
I
start
was
over
there.
here.
I did that.
Okay, yeah. So they can keep up. That was my mistake. I think I put my arm in the wrong spot. So it's oh, one second. Go.
No. There's something wrong with this one. Let's
Sure.
try again.
Let's start.
Perhaps it's because I don't give enough tension on that.
Well, that, let's say this instead of that. Okay. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. Let's go back to this
I
one.
was like that.
Okay.
So I dropped
There we
mine.
go. Oh,
No, that's my.
there we go. It's in there. We're getting there.
But I didn't feel like okay. I feel the upward, the downward, but here, when we are here.
Well, that's what I mean. This is the part that gets shortcutted.
Yeah.
It has to get shortcutted, otherwise we will get stuck in it.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Because
it's like,
this one should be downward.
that's
No,
correct.
yeah, downward force.
But in this drill,
Mm,
you have to just give it.
yeah.
Otherwise, we'll get stuck here.
Okay.
Right? There's still something. Let's go a little bit slower so that we can, just be more smooth. Let's say.
He's back.
Okay. I think I might be too late with my. You direct me up. Direct me up like you take this, go that way up there. Let this hand go upward. Yeah. So it's like this. Or sorry. So it's like this angle. It's making me go this way so that you can flop your hand over. Yeah. But even when this is come back to this spot here.
So
When this
here.
is here, when you, well, hold on, let's go back to that again. When this is here, this hand is coming over. Yeah, let's say it starts like that. It starts like this. And when it comes over, it's gonna do like, this hand drops out the way, and this one's gonna be like this. Not leaning, squared up like that. So that's a square base that I'm about to do this on. So like if it's done like that at all, or like this at all, to where you're twisted around, that's messed up things.
Okay.
So keep this square and this like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now it's this to be able to press on. And see this? See this?
Uh-huh.
That way you have this thing that you can now do the press word and then come upward. Well, that's a part of it too. Like I was talking about that, the energies where you're pressing downward and then upward, that lends to, go ahead and do it, that lends to this. Like, go ahead and do it, press downward and then upward. Not too far down, downward, upward. That lends to this.
So
Now,
downward and upward.
yeah, that lends to being able to react like this.
Okay.
It lends to the other person doing the energy where they're going upward.
Okay.
Like for instance, if you kept going downward, then it'd be
Break
like
the movement.
yeah, it'll be a struggle to try to,
Yeah. So I should press down
yeah,
and
like
up.
you're uprooting and gonna propel
Okay.
somebody.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
So.
Right. And now we're at that spot. Yeah.
Then.
Try to stay square with it instead of that. Yes, like that. More so. And I'm coming to meet this. I was stuck in thinking about stuff. So yeah. I'm still stuck.
That's it. That's yeah. It's square. It's not too bad.
We're on the wrong side.
Why?
Oh, no.
No.
It's coming. I need to go over here. You were going in the right direction. I need to actually come to this.
So you come to this one. So
Mhm.
you press. And go upward. Down and up.
Yep.
And just drop that down. Down and up.
Yeah. And there you go. I'm shifting over to this. I'm shifting over to this arm. Down and up. I'm shifting over to the other arm.
So I'm going there.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty tricky. Like it goes by that quick to where you got to be ready to transition your arms and stuff. So it's like it just comes up so quickly. But that is the movement.
Yeah, so we got the movement. So,
It's just getting the feel of it.
so press down and up. Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, I'll just say probably not too exaggerated. And going with the flow more so than not. So let's say not this, but just like, you know, going with the
Okay.
flow. Smaller movement.
Okay, let's try.
Smaller movement. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. this point here, let's say that, come back around this side to where this was here. At this point here, yeah, let's keep going. The transition. Alright. Yeah, there's a, let me see. Okay. Push back at me. I felt like I wasn't quite right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right, so
I think it's because
why is the problem? Mosquitoes? That's the problem. Oh, I see. That's the biting problem. Ah, yeah, who knows? Maybe it is the dirt. So, yeah. Using the walleye stuff is still really great for
I tried, but it's really, really hard.
how to apply the right amount.
Yeah. Because sometimes I press too hard, sometimes I don't press too
So it'll be great for that. In order to feel the pressure, feel what you have to do to keep that optimal pressure. So that's really good. Now as far as like, that'll come into play when you're doing stuff, like, you know, you can feel like push the room for the hand. You can, yeah. You can feel like what to do and when to do whatever you need to do some trickery or something. So in that regard, it's really good for assembly. As far as the sequence drill, it's not quite. Oh, let me just try to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to try to go to the drill and hopefully you can see it. forward, coming over. Can't see the other side. It switches. Now you're pushing downward, upward, coming to this side. Pushing downward. Upward, that direction, pressing down, that's the opposite side.
I wanted to try the both sides.
Well, that's how it's
But
doing.
it's good for the side we
Pushing into you. Switch forearm. Press down. Up. They turn their body. Now yours comes this way. You switch forearm. Press down. Up. Twist. Switch forearms. Press down. Up. Big arm. Switch forearm. Down. Up. Switch forearm. Press down. Up. Press. Down. Up. Forearm. Press down. Up. Press.
up.
Okay. Yeah, and I know I got some sticky points in there. This is a good also. Sometimes you get lost in there and press. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
On this side.
Oh, right now.
And now I'm in my this side. Alright. So this downward. definitely are getting better. Becoming more smooth, and we're also, let's say, eliminating a bit of discipline. There's going to be a point where we're going like this. Like that. Like it's going at this speed. When we get it, we're going like this. And we definitely have to eliminate doing that in every class. Yeah, like you're glossing over that stuff. So we're getting the whole point is getting the feeling and the flow. So this is definitely it's like if the alignment of anything is off, or the pressure of anything is off, it interrupts the flow. So it's like we have to keep working on it until we eliminate any off direction kind of thing, or any alignment that gets in the way of the flow. So until we are at that point, something will still happen. At this point, this should crossing over and altering this.
So I drop this.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far it can, but it's like, it's just immediate. It's coming down, going up, it's coming down, going up. I'm just thinking about it from one side, like I'm taking a shortcut. Yeah, it feels like both are right. Then it's it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I think we really are stuck on that part. Also,
Yeah.
there's something that
Yeah, I was trying to skip over it to go for the flow. Again, turn the pressure down. Take it away. Push down. And then upward. We'll get back to it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky stuff. And that's only one deal.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'm
You
going
wanna-
to look at the video again, try to work on solo on it.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, it's tricky
hopefully we'll
stuff,
get
man.
it.
Yeah, I think the solo work will happen.